Hey everyone, welcome back to the Redmen TV. Yes, it's the fan reaction show. Liverpool draw 3-3 with Newcastle in a quite topsy-turvy game. The Reds trailing twice, come from behind, are winning, and then unfortunately a bit of a goalkeeping error from Fabian Schar there added to a very neat finish from Fabian Schar. And obviously we know as it stands, the teams closest to Liverpool won or are winning as well. I'm currently watching the last half an hour or so of Man United, Arsenal winning that one. So yeah, it's hard really, because there were at times in that game where, I'll be honest, we were playing so poorly that you'd have almost thought take a draw and run. But then when Mo Salah comes alive, scores the goal, you're thinking just hold on Liverpool, and then it's such a shame that it's a mistake that does it. So it was, quite an eventful game really. Again, let's get into your comments and thoughts on that in the Discord. First of all, let's have a look who we've got in here. Quirky Red says the defence was poor tonight. Yeah, listen, obviously a bit of a makeshift defence and things like that. And Liverpool, listen, they did not look watertight. They conceded 3 goals. They gave away numerous other chances as well. Like, you know, on another day, that game ends 5-5. It really was. That was there. So I agree, Liverpool nowhere near as watertight. Again, the goalkeeper doesn't particularly cover himself in glory either. So yeah, I think that one's a fair one. Let's see. Bruce says, once again, the ref shafted us. 2 points dropped. Nunes had a stinker and Kwanzaa struggled. Midfield looking leggy. Slot needs to start using Endo. I think the ref was crap, but I think he was crap for both teams. Listen, on another day, he might give a penalty against us as well, you know, the Isak one. So I think he was a poor ref. I think he gave a lot of fouls, free kicks and stuff, but I don't think that's to blame for everything, really. You're right about Nunes. He didn't have his best game. I would agree with that one. And we did look leggy in midfield. I think you're right. I think the changes definitely brighten Liverpool up. That is for sure. David says, that just cost us the league. I mean, it's far too early to say that, I must admit. Liverpool have got a 7-point, well, at least 7-point gap so far, haven't they? I think currently Chelsea, as we're waiting for Arsenal's game to finish as well. So the gap that Liverpool had given them a buffer. And listen, if you thought you were going to win every single game, you were sadly mistaken. You were never going to do that. I think that's a bit too much to go inside. I don't think it was a great performance. But I think, like I say, it's way too early to feel that one out. It might end, who knows what happens at that time gone by, but if you thought Liverpool was going to win every single game between now and the end of the season, that probably wasn't going to happen. What I would just say is that if they can get back on the horse, go again at the weekend, which will be tough. Everton obviously coming off a good result tonight, and that took a lot out of Liverpool, and it is a quick turnaround, so there's place to go. There we are with that one. LFC Mav says Liverpool were shite at points, but we'd salvaged it. We just made silly decisions all game. It was frustrating, but it was not a loss. Yeah, there's pros and cons. Like I say, Liverpool's decision making at times was poor. Arne Slot says sometimes about like trying to keep control of games and not making too many risky challenges. Well, there was a time, or risky passes. Liverpool definitely did that at times. Especially in the first half. The first half was so poor. They give the ball away a lot. It wasn't a good first half at all, and then you give yourself a mountain to climb, and then they go and climb the mountain, and then unfortunately right at the end, pretty much a mistake. And like I say, even from that point on, it could have been worse. Newcastle have a good free kick opportunity. You know, the ref blows his final whistle, thankfully. I mean, the 5 minutes were over, so we can't complain, but you know, Newcastle were on the attack then, they had other chances, so it's really hard to sum that game up. I think just about a point probably is right for both teams. They'll both think they had chances to win, but both teams will be thinking we could have lost that as well. Who knows? Let's have a little look what else we've got going on here. Super chat from Momo. Give Salah what he wants. He is our Steph Curry at the minute. Just magic from Mo Salah again at time recording. I don't know if it's changed. He's top scorer in the league. He's banging in 2 more goals and an assist. Again, first half, actually, I thought he wasn't at his best. He looked like he kept giving the ball away. It wasn't quite working, but magic in the box, hits the bar as well. Has good chances. Yeah, Salah was just on another level. And he's the reason, actually, Liverpool don't lose that game. How good he was. I saw he looked like he had a little knock at the end as well, so hopefully that's not too much, because that would be a massive blow if Liverpool lose Mohammed Salah. But yeah, he is such a superstar at this moment in time. He's the best player in the league, and again, like I say, I thought he'd won us the game, and it just so disappointing that he never. But he did. He got Liverpool in such a good position. Just a shame he couldn't work it out. But you are right, he's fantastic. And this contract situation, yeah, someone somewhere needs to get that sorted. Illy says, does Ali make that mistake, Steve? Listen, Alisson Becker, I think, is the best goalkeeper in the world, but he's not inhuman. He's made mistakes too. I've seen him gift goals to opposition teams in the past. You know, there's you can count loads of those opportunities in big games too. Your Cities, your Real Madrids. He's made mistakes at Arsenal all the time. So who knows? But Kelleher, I think I've seen him. I recall him trying to do something similar. I think it was against Brentford, and I think it might have been Brentford, but correct me if I'm wrong. And he did get away with that. It's a bad error. I don't know why he's letting that go. Maybe is he trying to waste time by letting it go for a goal kick? He's better just catching it. And like I say, in hindsight, it's 2020, of course, but it was a poor decision. He's got to catch that, and he's got to fall on the floor, and he's got to lay on it. I think he's trying to waste time. And listen, it's still a very difficult finish by Schar. You know, the odds of that going in are very, very low. But yeah, listen, who knows? Alisson's, okay, he has made mistakes before, but I'd like to think he wouldn't have made that one. I'd like to think Fabian Schar wouldn't have made that one, to be honest with you. Josh says the ref was shocking. I agree, he was shocking. I go back to it. I thought he was poor for both teams, though. I don't think he was particularly. The flow of the game was always off. We got away with some, they got away with some. It was odd, like how some of their players weren't on bookings when some of ours were. But then also, like I say, he could easily give a penalty against us. He was just I thought he was a bad ref. Right then, yeah, Jerome says Keller made a mistake, but it happens. He's been great. Like I say, he's been fantastic so far. It is a bad error. No, like nobody's perfect. You know, all goalkeepers make mistakes. It's just a big shame that one at that moment in time, because it would have been some win if Liverpool could have held on for that one. David, LFC, thanks very much, David, with his super chat, says, at least it's a draw, but it's a frustrating game. The defence was fairly poor. Trent again, when he came on, was class. Darwin again was poor. Just a really frustrating game all round, and the ref was awful. There's a lot to unpack. Let's start with the Núñez one, then. I agree. Listen, I think he does his best to try and get the toe on the Gakpo one. Just missed that, but he has a couple of opportunities that he just snatches at. You know, the one that goes wide, I just don't think he had a particularly impactful game, to be honest. I was surprised when Diaz come on that it was for Gakpo instead of Núñez. But again, the manager knows more about us of fitness levels and who needs what and things. But yeah, I don't think it was. Listen, Darwin's had some good days up and nights up in Newcastle. I don't think this was one of them. I agree with Trent, actually. I thought on the ball, Trent was really good when he come on. He looked sharp as well, which is good, and hopefully he can go 90 minutes now at the weekend against Everton. And if he plays like that, he'll be in good spirits. But yeah, I agree, he was good. And you say the defence, like I say, we were leaky all game, really. Makeshift defence, that can happen. They weren't getting as much protection as they have in years past as well. So yeah, you're right. Listen, you can see 3 goals and numerous other chances as well. And yeah, you're right. It is worth mentioning that one. I thought at times they were all a little bit 6s and 7s, and yeah, like I say, the injury situation catching up a little bit. No Canate, of course, and as well as we did in midweek at the weekend against City, where we limited City to next to nothing. It just didn't go the same way tonight. And yeah, like I say, Newcastle scored 3 goals and had numerous other chances as well. So you are right. Right, who else have we got in the conversation? Taff looking at things a little bit positively. Listen, we were a goalkeeper catch away from winning a difficult game, and that's the thing. You're right. You know, if that doesn't happen, and again, you know, ifs, buts, and maybes, and all that kind of stuff, we've all heard them. But Liverpool didn't play particularly well, but their attacking prowess again, almost, they scored 3 goals and it almost got them there. So you're right in mentioning that. Like I say, it would have been such a big win. I go back to it again. They were always going to drop points somewhere. That's why that gap that they have or had or still have, no matter what, was so important. Because if it is, like I say, whatever they are to Chelsea and Arsenal, I think the Chelsea game's over. We know that Arsenal, as time recording, are still playing. You were never going to win them all. You'd gain yourself a little break, but it can't be one that lasts forever. It can't be the start of a skid. So fingers crossed. It was just a one-off in terms defensively, but there's what I'm trying to think. there's areas to be concerned about, how easy Liverpool got it, and Everton will be thinking going into the weekend, can we rattle, no Konate it looks like, and it'll be, whether it's Gomez, Kwanzaa, Trent, whoever it is, whoever that is, Everton might be fancying their chances, I think it's fair to say, because it wasn't fantastic. Right then, who else have we got? Paul B says, do you think Slot sticks with Núñez? Because I'm praying he doesn't. I don't know, Paul, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know if he sticks with Núñez. It is the honest answer. We don't know what he thinks of him. Obviously, I remember when he first announced that Slot was coming in. I remember Paul Joyce's tweet was like, he's going to be tasked with getting the best out of Darwin Núñez, which is a weird line to put in the tweet that he was going to be the new head coach. But obviously that was an angle being mirrored. Now, who knows? I think Arsenal have just scored you, so that'll be that one. They'll win that one. Another set piece. So yeah, it's going to be 7 points to Liverpool. It's to Chelsea and to Arsenal. It looks like now. Yeah, I don't know. It's the honest answer, mate. Who's he going to buy? What can you do? There's a lot of issues that Liverpool are going to have to solve. Who knows how that's going to be? Come the start of the next season, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. He's got to stick with them to the end of the season, and we'll cross them bridges when we get to them. Right then, Newcastle bullied our midfield in the first half. I'm guessing Everton will try and do the same, says Richard. And you're right, Liverpool it was the first time actually they looked leggy. It's interesting because that is the one area where they've actually got numbers. Liverpool do have changes they can make in that part of the pitch. I'm just looking at this. I don't know how Arsenal have quite scored that one. I think he's just scored with his arse, which is mental. The manager has got options there. He's got Elliott, he's got Szoboszlai, he's got Endo on the bench, and we'll wait and see what happens at the weekend. Because you are right, Liverpool looked a little bit tired, sure. New name says, are we still favourites for the league? I mean, yeah, it will be the answer to that one. Any team who's got a 7-point lead will be the leaders for the league. So yeah, yes, will be the answer to that one. Who knows how it goes and how the season pans out? But right at this moment in time, I would say yes, they still are for now. Yeah, Mr. Formula says, give Mo his dough and do it now. Yeah, that's just one thing that they have to get sorted out, don't they? They really do. Make no bones about that one. They absolutely have to get that sorted, and they need to sooner rather than later. Winlord says, who cares about betting gods? Well, that's literally how favourites are made. Like that is the definition of favourites. So that's why I brought that one up. Tusif, probably got your name wrong there, says, big second half after being bossed by Newcastle in the first half. A rookie mistake by the goalkeeper in the end cost us 2 points, but conceding 3 tells us about the defensive performance. And you're right, I thought Liverpool were terrible first half, actually. It was as bad as they've been for a long time. And I go back to before, at certain points, if you'd have offered me the point, I'd have bit your hand off because I thought we were that bad. But having getting back into the lead, then yeah, you're right. It's a bad mistake, and it opens the door for Newcastle. They go through it, and like I say, the gap is now closing. They'll have to go to Everton and address that. You know, I mean, they didn't lose. That's the main thing, because there were definitely points in this game tonight. There were definitely points in that game tonight where I thought they were going to lose. When Gordon scored after we'd got the momentum back and then they get it again, I did think, this might be one we've lost. So in the end, it's so difficult. But yeah, like I say, once we get that money, once we get that goal, and you're thinking, Salah money, give him it, and we'll move on and we'll get out of here with a win. And yeah, they didn't, unfortunately. Scott in the Discord says, time to move on to the next one. And that's kind of what it's got to be a little bit, Scott, hasn't it? Like, Liverpool have to regroup. Don't make this a thing. Everton will take encouragement from that performance. They scored 4 goals tonight, albeit against Wolves. But, the last Merseyside derby at Goodison, and a team who, maybe feeling a little bit, like I say, Wednesday night away, early Saturday away, it won't be easy. Liverpool, again, Arne Slot are going to have to recover, refocus, get going again, and go from there. Stephen 6 said he should have started Kwanzaa at centre-back and Gomez at right-back. Jarrell isn't a full-back. Yeah, I'll be honest, I thought... he's obviously wanted to keep the Gomez-Kwanzaa thing together. It didn't really work, especially in the first half. We couldn't quite get out. The patterns of play weren't right. It just didn't seem right, and I wonder if he sticks at that or he does change his mind Like I say, I'm pretty sure Alexander-Arnold will start at the weekend and hopefully he can go 90 minutes. But it was a difficult one for Kwanzaa right back. I thought he did okay when he went to centre back, but again, the manager's trying to balance plates, and if he thinks Trent's only got half an hour in his leg, then he can't start him. Yeah, it was a weird one, but I think it was a gamble that probably just didn't quite pay off. Gravenberch needs a rest. Says, I wonder if the I was trying to think. On that, I agree, but did they ask him to go again against Everton and then maybe give him the Girona game off? Maybe he starts at Everton. He's a combative player. Certainly, he did look tired. I think that it was actually one of his poorer performances. I wouldn't disagree with you. Actually, I don't think he had his best game for sure. Right then. George isn't happy with Nunes. Nunes is Henderson in terms of ability and passion. I think Jordan Henderson doesn't half get some stick at the very end of Jordan Henderson wasn't at his best. There was times when Jordan Henderson was really, really good. But I get in your point. It wasn't Darwin's best night, was it? It's fair to say. I was listening to the commentary on Amazon. I think the commentator made the point, he isn't like a Robbie Fowler calm fella in the box. He is this chaotic thing, and at times that works. It worked at Newcastle last year. You know what I mean? We don't forget that. But then there are times when you need that ice in your veins, and he just didn't have it. And that's very disappointing. But yeah, I think that's a bit harsh on both of them, to be honest with you. Well, unless you were paying him a compliment, because I think Henderson. I think you're being a little bit. Very end of Jordan Henderson, by the time it wasn't looking quite great, I'd half agree with you, but there was times when Jordan Henderson was really good as well. JTC says, stop this chaos shit, please. Goals when the opportunity arises. He does not do that. I that's what I agreed with. That's what I said. He isn't this calm, cool fella. He's mad, and like I say, there can be times when that's a positive, and there can be times when that's a negative, and that's all I said. It wasn't. It was just that's an observation of him. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. Today it didn't work. I've always said about Darwin Núñez, I've always thought, again, there's certain things you can't teach and you can't question. The pace and the power and the athleticism and the ability, the desire. And he's clearly got something about him. He scores good goals, but also he isn't the type of striker I like. I much prefer a Diogo Jota, but Diogo Jota's not fit at the moment. So some fella broke his ribs. So. That's kind of, he isn't my type of striker. Darwin Núñez, I'll be honest, he isn't. But he, and when I say chaos, it's not a positive or a negative. It can be both at both times. But I don't think he played particularly well today. Are we worried about McAllister's suspension? Why would they take the blame? So listen, there will be one change the weekend. Obviously, it was a silly booking that the ref gave. That was never a yellow card. So Alexis definitely out of the derby, which again, just another thing that Arne Slot's got to deal with. So yeah, it is something to worry about. And like I say, it was weird because I don't think Liverpool's midfield was that good in the first half, but second half they come alive a bit. I thought the manager's decisions, again, his subs were good subs. Arne Slot's making a habit of making good substitutions. I thought they all impacted the game when they come on. I thought Szoboszlai was good, Alexander-Arnold was good, I thought Diaz was pretty good as well. But yeah, it is something to have to deal with. I'm guessing Szoboszlai coming straight in for him. He might have done that anyway. But yeah, it is obviously for a team who are struggling for numbers and have got injuries and whatever, a suspension is just another worry that they've got to deal with, I suppose. And yeah, it is what it is. Gino says the Weasel Gordon dived everywhere. I can't imagine why some fans wanted him. Disgusting player. They probably wanted him because he scores, and he scores tonight, and he scored against Liverpool before. Maybe it's that. Yeah, he did. He definitely dived a couple of times. Didn't he? Make no doubt about that one. But I think that's probably why people liked him. Yeah, like I say. The replicator, why was our midfield so shit in the first half? Could we have been set up better? We just didn't deal with Newcastle's press, is what I thought. They overran us. I said in the build-up, Arne's gone for his more technical midfield. He's left out the more energetic Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai, and he's gone for a technical midfield three, hoping to retain the ball. But he didn't do that, and therefore they probably got a little bit less in terms of athleticism, and they weren't keeping hold of the ball, and therefore, yeah, it's a bit of you're onto a bit of hiding and nothing. It's not. That's kind of how I read it. They just couldn't deal with the press, and a few of them looked a little bit off it. Again, hindsight's 2020. If you'd have seen the first half before you picked the team, you wouldn't have done it. But I think that's what it was. The encouraging thing for me rather was Szoboszlai. I thought was excellent when he come on, which is definitely a positive. And again, hopefully he can continue that, because I'm almost certain he has to start against Everton now, given that Alexis is suspended. Right then. Sparky One Up, nice name, says Newcastle barely put a foot wrong and we barely put one right apart from Mo. We still didn't lose. That again, that is, I was saying that before. At half time, the only positive was that we weren't getting beat, because we were really poor. And I suppose what I'd say is you don't question the desire and the commitment to Liverpool. At least the they did show that, because they could easily have phoned that one in. They did go till the end, which is, I suppose, positive. They won't really, you'd think, you don't really think they'd play much worse than they did in that first half many times soon. If they do, they'll be punished. But yeah, listen, like Jerry says here, we have to drop points at some stage. City have set an extremely high standard, but we definitely missed the EB for this one. Yeah, we did, I agree. And like I say, Liverpool were never going to go and win every single game. They just weren't going to do that. So yeah, the point buffer that they'd give themselves to these teams, whether it was it was 11 to City and now it's 9, or it's 7 to Chelsea and Arsenal, they'd earn that by being really good. They'd earn the chance that they can afford a mistake, and if your mistakes are going to be a draw at Newcastle, hopefully, I don't regret saying this, but hopefully it's not the end of the world for us, and they can regroup. Because if they win the next 2 games, all of a sudden things look a lot rosy, and if they lose the next 2 games or don't win them, all of a sudden the world's on fire. We just don't know. But yeah, like I say, if you thought Liverpool were going to go and win every game between now and the end of the season, that just wasn't going to happen. I think legs are creaking a little bit. There's a couple of things, again, injuries aren't ever easy and whatever, but yeah, that's why it was such a disappointment when that goal goes in, because I just thought, yeah, what a psychological boost it would have been to play poorly, have a few issues and still win. Alas, it just wasn't meant to be. The Replicator says there's a lot of focus on Nunes, but what do you think about Diaz and Gakpo's performance? I don't think, like I say, I said before, I might have left Gakpo on, but it wasn't like he was pulling up trees either. He didn't do a lot. I thought Diaz was okay actually when he come on. You might correct me if I'm wrong. A couple of times he looked half good, making some threatening runs. Maybe on another day wins. I think it was weird because he didn't get a penalty, but he should have had a free kick and he didn't get it. But whatever. So I thought Diaz was all right. Gakpo was all half anonymous, if truth be told. But yeah, that's what it was. Who else have we got in here? P. says, I want to say all the Jones haters can shove it. And yeah, I thought, like I say, I don't think Curtis had his best first half. He had a good second half. He nearly scores again. A good save from Nick Pope. So yeah, Curtis has clearly established himself as one of Liverpool's better players so far. Right then, let's have a look who else we've got in here. What do you think about what Salah said in the interview? You'll have to tell me what interview that was. Sorry, mate, I haven't seen any interviews, so you'll have to bear with me on that one. What's he said? What's Mo been speaking? Is it his contract again? Because he tends to do that a little bit. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what he said, so I can't. If you let me know, and I'll try and answer your question for you. Yeah, Philip says it wasn't a great game for us and we still could have won. To blame it on 2 players is ridiculous. I don't think, like I say, I thought first half they were all crap, so you could, if you're going to blame anything on anyone, you could say in the first half you could blame it on most of them. Second half it was much better. I say individual mistakes hurt you. How many times has Quavian Kelleher saved Liverpool, and then this time he just has, he has a brain fart basically. That's the best I can say on it. And like I say, I know Darwin's getting the hate, and it's I wouldn't just put it down to Darwin Núñez either. I think it is a bit more fucking, nuanced than that one. He didn't have his best game, that is for sure. But I go back to it. If you score 3 goals, then you probably need to win the game. You don't want that from a defensive point of view. I'm sure that's what the defenders and the goalkeeper probably Arne Slot are thinking as well. If you score 3 goals, then you say, Liverpool are going to go up to Newcastle and score 3 goals. You would have expected they'd won, so it's one of them. It's all true. Right. Heading back over to the Discord. Alec, I think it says, it says, always hurts with that fixture. Isaac scores every single game. Yeah, he does. He's a very good player, and he took his goal very well. I think Newcastle, actually, to be fair to them, took all their goals pretty well. And I don't know, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I actually thought Quivine might have done better with Gordon's maybe as well. But yeah, them's the breaks. Right, who else is in the chat before we start getting ready to move over to the player rankings board? Harditz Davis says, it doesn't nuanced, it doesn't change. Nunes is not at this level. Like I say, I've got my doubts about Darwin Nunes. I am not the Darwin Nunes defender. Like, that is not me. Absolutely not. But he's playing because they've got, again, there's another injuries and stuff, and yeah, there's a lot to go. I like I say, he isn't. We know he's not Arne Slot's first choice. Diogo Jota's the first choice, but he's out. Keys is out, so that's kind of where we're at with him. I agree. He's not. I've still got my doubts, and if you say to me in the summer, Darwin Nunes goes, and you buy, someone else, an Alex Isak or whatever, then listen, I'm not the one who's complaining. I would be for that. But like I say, he's here now. He's going to play. He's going to play again at the weekend, you would think, perhaps, or at least get off the bench at some point. So I'm not going to sit here and just slam him and say he's got to leave and get on his case. We need him for a few more weeks. Come the summer, is there a decision to be made potentially? And that's up to Arne Slot and the coaching staff and the recruitment team. But yeah, listen, I'm not saying I'm Darwin Nunes' the greatest ever fan, because I've not, people who watch Redmen for now, I've always had a few doubts. But again, there's been moments of magic and there's been moments of absolute crap, and that's kind of the Darwin Nunes experience in a nutshell, really, isn't it? But yeah, one of them. Who else have we got in here? Yeah, we just need to Collymore to win. Yeah, we did. I was thinking at the time, I do wonder if that the 4-3 was on the cards. Unfortunately, it wasn't. At the end, actually, I thought Newcastle, when they had that free kick, my heart was in my mouth for a little bit. But thankfully, that one went straight over the bar. AJ says, Steer, you keeping Gomez as centre-back for Everton? I think I would. But obviously, you'd want Trent at right-back, wouldn't you? Would be that would be what I still think Gomez is probably a better defender than Joe Kwanzaa at this moment in time. Although again, I don't think Joe particularly had his greatest night either, if truth be told. But yeah, I think I would be, if I'm honest. Alex says, right back was our weak point for 60 minutes because Hall and Gordon dealt with Salah and did the job. Credit where credit's due. Yeah, like I say, Salah come alive in his moments, didn't he? I think the Trent sub definitely brought Liverpool more into life. It just looked a little bit uneasy in the first half, and again, if the lad's not fit, he's not fit to play. Only the medical staff will know what Trent can and can't do. You are right. Liverpool didn't have a particularly good first half, but it did look better when Trent come on. Rob makes a good point about Kelleher as well. Yeah, he did make a great save to stop us going 2-0 down. He did. When Anthony Gordon goes through, we're all praising Quivine Kelleher. That's goalkeeping, isn't it? He saves the one you maybe think he shouldn't, and he misses the one you think he should. It is a fair point. I can't disagree with that one. TJ says we didn't have to lose that game. Yeah, thankfully we didn't. It was a draw. We lost, so we did draw it in the end. It wasn't a loss. But yeah. Mark says, can anyone tell me when Jota's back? Yeah, I don't know, Mark. We're still waiting for that one. Not ideal at this moment in time. Liverpool are running out of players, and like I said, I did see Salah limping a little bit, and my heart was in my mouth there as well. Fingers crossed it's not one of those. Because there's a lot of action to come, and Liverpool needs to get some players back. That is for sure. Right, who else have we got here? We just gave Arsenal and City some motivation. We did, Kaz and I, like I say, we did, but bear in mind, Newcastle drew City drew in this exact game, and Arsenal lost that exact game. So they know how difficult it is. That was the thing. It's a tough place to go. Newcastle, it's never easy. And if you don't like say, what tonight showed is like there's no easy games in the Premier League, and if you're off it, then you will get punished. And like I say, that first Liverpool first half performance, you would look at it and go, they didn't deserve to win. Second half, attacking wise, you think, yeah, probably they might have deserved it, but then you let 3 goals in, so then you can't. So again, it's one of those. It is what it is. Curtis held on midfield together after Gravenberch went off. Says Gino, I thought he was good, and I thought Szoboszlai was actually good as well when he come off the bench. But anyway, that is what that all is. Right then, that is enough for now, I think, for this part of the show. Thanks everyone for getting your comments in. I'm going to make my way over to the board shortly for the player ranking show. So yeah, check that out after this quick break. See you in a minute.